Oh my god, not Be Real going off. That's so rude. Hello? Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So you're probably wondering why we're in a little bit of a different setup. I am standing today because we need to talk about my favourite thing in my bedroom, my bookshelf. And we're going to be filming a little what's on my physical TBR video. So I have turned all of the books that I have read on my shelf around, so the pages are facing outwards, and we only have all the books that I haven't read where you can see the spines. And we're going to be going through everything that's on my physical TBR. I think I have over 70 books that I have not read on my physical TBR. So that really tells me that I need to stop buying books, but I thought I'd show you. This could be a fun video. I saw Rachel Catherine do a video a bit like this, and I thought that I would film a similar one because I really liked it, and apparently people do this all the time. I haven't seen anyone else do this except her. So yeah, I did turn all my books around and I kind of hate the way it looks. So as soon as I finish filming this video, I'm going to turn them all back. But yeah, these are all the books that I haven't read. So let's just get into it. Okay, so it's future Shantelle coming in here real quick to interrupt this video to talk about today's sponsor. We have another sponsor. It's crazy. I know, I still can't believe it that people want to like sponsor my videos. Insane. But today's sponsor is Zenith. So thank you so much to Zenith for sponsoring this video. And Zenith is a glasses company where you can get glasses. Obviously you can get sunglasses, you can get prescription glasses, and pick your frames and they will send you prescription glasses, or you can get blue light glasses, which is what I have to show you today, but we'll get to that in a minute. Or you can just get clear frames and just have like the clear in there if you just want glasses for fashion purposes. But yeah, Zenith is an amazing company. They have so many different frames to choose from, and they also have a virtual try-on filter. You can upload a photo of yourself and try on a bunch of different frames, so you can find out which ones suit your face. I was playing around with this for ages, trying to pick the frames that I wanted, and I know that round frames don't really suit my face, but I tried on a few of those, and then I found the perfect fit for me. And yeah, they were kind enough to actually give me a discount code to share with you guys. Alright, so you can use the code Marie. I will put it on the screen to get you 50% off frames and 10% off lenses. And that is an awesome deal. And yeah, so let's, I was going to say unbox, but that would be a lie because I've definitely already opened these and been wearing them for the past couple of days since I got them. But it comes in a little box, and then it comes in another little box and just says Zenith on it, and then you slide this open and your glasses come in this little box, and they give you a cleaning cloth, which is awesome, and then also some like instructions on how to adjust your glasses, which is one of my favorite parts about these glasses, is that you can actually adjust them. You just run it under some hot water, just like the end of your, what's this called, the arm of the glasses, and you can pull it out very softly and it will adjust them, or you can pull it in if you need them to be tighter on your face. But these are the frames that I picked. Let's put them on. They're just clear and they're rounded, they're like square, and I am obsessed with them. I love them. I think they really suit my face, and I've been wanting a pair of just like clear glasses for ages, and I got some blue light glasses. I edit for hours and hours, and my eyes do get very sore when I'm editing, and I edited with these on the other day and it prevented the headache, prevented my eyes getting very sore, and it was very good. And these aren't super obviously like blue light glasses, if that makes sense. I've had blue light glasses in the past and they've just irritated my eyes because you can like so obviously see like the orange tint, whereas these ones are not bad at all. Like you can tell it's there obviously, but it's not as obvious, and it's really nice. Like I could wear these for like hours and it wouldn't like annoy me. I'm obsessed. I will be wearing these all the time when I edit and when I'm on my phone or just like reading, anything like that. I love them. So if you want to get your own pair of glasses from Zenith, you can definitely use my discount code Marie for 50% off the frames and 10% off the lenses. And yeah, thank you so much once again for Zenith for sponsoring this video, and let's just get into my physical TBR. So I have to put it like this for the top shelf, but these are the books that I haven't read on here. So we have Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I simply haven't read this one just because I've heard mixed reviews about it. And then we have How to Fail at Flirting. This one's been on my TBR for maybe over a year, I want to say. It has one of my favorite tropes in it where the love interest helps the main character complete a list, but I just haven't read it yet. I've heard really good things though, but I just don't know. I don't know why I haven't read it, but cute cartoon cover. Need to read it soon because it sounds really good. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. You guys know I bought this and I didn't know it was in third person, but I can read third person now, so I'm eventually gonna get there and read about the Brown sisters. This is the first book in the trilogy and I really want to read it. I've heard good things, but I just haven't got there yet. I don't know, it's just I keep seeing it and I'm like, not yet. Then we have The Dead Romantics. I really want to read this. I don't know why I haven't. I only bought it recently, but I really want to read it. Then we have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, her second book, and this is very high on my TBR. It's my next read, and I cannot wait to read this. I've heard really good things. I love The Love Hypothesis, and this one's actually in first person, so I can't wait to read that. Then we have this one. This one's been on my TBR for, I want to say almost 2 years. It's called I Owe You One by Sophie Kinsella. I've heard no one talk about this, but I read the blurb. I was at the bookstore. It sounded really good, so I picked it up and it's just been sitting on my shelf. And you know, some books just sit on your shelf and they've been on your shelf too long and then you just like don't want to read them anymore, and that's just kind of what this book is. I'll get there though. The Summer of '98. This one is a prequel to The Cute Boy Bad Boy and Me. Hubie Bad Boy and Me. I haven't read it yet. Don't know why. I've been on my shelf for ages. Just haven't picked it up. We have the Inheritance Games trilogy, which I'm planning on filming a reading vlog for. That's why I haven't read them, because I need the time to, you know, film a reading vlog for all 3 of them. I'm going to do all 3 in one video, I think. And yeah, I'll get there. We have the Dimly series, the first book and the second book. Both of these I picked up for really cheap. Got this one at the Ob Shop for $2 and then got this one on clearance at Big W for $5. Want to get the third book somewhere on clearance before I start reading them. We have my little Harry CD, which I'm going to take down just so you can see the rest. We have the To All the Boys I'd Love Before trilogy, read the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy earlier this year. Love Jenny Han's writing, so I wanted to read this series. And we have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. This one I just picked up recently from the Ob Shop for like $3. Haven't really heard anything about it, but it sounded good. $3, had to buy it. Then we have Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. This one's been on my TBR for ages, but I've heard nothing but really good things. Love the cover, love the title. Like, that's just pure me, and I cannot wait to read this. It felt bookish to me. Honestly, know nothing about this. Thought the cover was cute, and why not pick it up? And I just haven't read it yet. Love at First Spite. This one is enemies to lovers vibes. Heard good things. Heard it's just a fluffy, cute romance. And I just haven't picked it up yet. Then we have Beyond the Roses. Now, I bought this one because of More to Mary, one of my faves. She recommended this, was talking about it on her Instagram. I was like, I love this book. You guys have to read it. And I picked it up pretty much straight away. But I just haven't read it yet because it's extremely sad. I believe the main character has like a illness of some sorts, and I think she probably will not live. And she falls in love with this guy, and yeah, I really want to read it. I also believe the author's Australian, so this one is probably high on my TBR, but I haven't got there because it's just really sad and I've just been putting it off. Moving on to the second shelf. This one is probably the worst shelf, I want to say. I haven't read probably the most books on this shelf, but we have The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Simply haven't read it yet just because, I don't know, I've heard mixed things, but I've had some good things, I've had some bad things. It's kind of reverse fake dating. They pretend to be exes. So yeah. Then we have The Royal Next Door. I picked this one up ages ago because I've read a couple books by Karina Halle and I really liked her writing, but I just simply haven't read it. I believe he's the bodyguard of the royals that are moving next door to her, and then they kind of start a enemies to lovers little romance. Just haven't read it. Boyfriend Material. This one's been on my physical TBR for a hot minute. It's very red, white and royal blue vibes in the sense that it's fake dating, male. I think they're also in London. Haven't read it yet. It's in first person though. Really want to. Heard really good things. And the second book just came out, Husband Material. So I want to read that one too. And we have Magnolia Parks. This one I only recently picked up because it's been blowing up on Book Talk and everyone's raving about it. Haven't read it yet. Heard it's very toxic. Basically Gossip Girl, but make it British. And I really want to read it. because I love a bit of rich people drama, but I just haven't got around to it yet because it's a chunky book, but I do want to read it because I've heard really good things. Bad Boy and the Tomboy. This one I think has been on my TBR the longest. I got this for my birthday in 2019, I think, and I still haven't read it purely because I'm scared. I'm scared because this was written on Wattpad and it got published, and it was my favorite book. I've reread it on Wattpad so many times, and then it got published and became a paid story on Wattpad, and apparently the physical book is very, very different. So I'm scared to read it because I don't want it to ruin the book. Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. This one is the author of Before We Were Strangers. This is Friends to Lovers, Second Chance, romance. Just, it sounds so good, but I just haven't read it. I don't know why. Until It Fades, once again, has been on my TBR for a really long time. Like my normal TBR, but then I got the book for Christmas, I believe, a couple years ago, and I haven't read it yet. It's a single mum romance, one of the most famous trope. Sounds really good, I just haven't got there, I don't know. Let Me Have the Simple Wild by Katie Tucker as well. Don't know why I haven't read it, just haven't. I want to get the rest of the books in the series before I read the first one, but I will get there. We have A Love Letter to Whiskey, which has been on my TBR a couple of times, like my monthly TBR videos, and once again I've had this one for a long time, but it's a sad book, and I haven't been in the mood for a sad romance. We have Priest by Serena Simone. This one's actually on my TBR for this month, so I want to read it this month. It is obviously about a priest. It's a little bit controversial, but I've heard it's very spicy, and I am keen to read it. We have Only When It's Us, the first book in the Bergman Brothers series. Heard nothing but amazing things about this series, and I cannot wait to read it. I just haven't got there. Until You by Penelope Douglas and Falling Away by Penelope Douglas. These books are both in the Fall Away series. I did not like Rival. I didn't even finish it. I DNF'd it, and I haven't picked it back up. But yeah, I don't know. I love Penelope Douglas, but this series just, I don't think is for me. And then the last book on this shelf is My Mechanical Romance. I only picked this one up recently and just haven't got around to reading it yet. Oh my god, not Be Real going off. That's so rude. Hello? Guys, you're gonna be my Be Real for the day. I took it. This is it. You guys are in it. Rude of Be Real to go off while I'm filming. Moving on to the next shelf. This is one of my favourite shelves. It has a lot of my faves on here. This one also is not too bad. We have my Addicted Callaway sister series, and I just have one book left in the official series to read, and then I don't own the All Your Perfects yet because it's very expensive and I haven't bought it yet. But we have a long way down to read. Rack and Daisy's last book. Haven't got there yet. Then we have Find You in the Dark. This one has been on my TBR for ages. I only bought the physical copy recently, but apparently it's a very, very sad romance. It deals with a lot of mental health. The main character has, like the main guy has like a lot of mental health issues. It's just, I feel like it's really sad and I just haven't got there yet. Serenading Heartbreak by Ella Fields. One of the ones that has been on my TBR for a very, very long time. I've had this one, I think I got it for Christmas like last year or the year before, and it's a love triangle, which is why I put it off. Don't love love triangles, but I've heard really good things about this book. Apparently it's not a bad love triangle, like it's not too bad. Then we have the Ravenhood trilogy. Simply just haven't got around to reading it. Bought all three of the books, excited to read it, but it's very confusing apparently, and I know it's meant to be that way, but I just haven't got there. Then we have Red, White and Royal Blue. You guys know this has been on my TBR for literally months, and I just haven't got there. I need to read it. It's on my TBR for this month again. Will I read it this month? I don't know. Darling Venom by P something something Huntington. This one I've heard nothing but amazing things. It's a best friend's brother romance. I think a little bit on the dark side. Like it deals with a lot of mental health once again, and I believe suicide, and they kind of help each other through things. Apparently it's very steamy. I've heard really good things. Once again, I feel like it might be a bit sad why I've put it off, but the cover is stunning. And the last book on this shelf is from Week Off With Love. I only bought this one recently because it came out at Big W, and I haven't read it yet. Moving on to the next shelf. This is probably, I would say, my best shelf. It's my Colleen Hoover shelf, and I've pretty much read every book on this shelf. We have the special edition of Verity. The only reason why this one is turned around is simply because I haven't read the bonus chapter in it yet, and yeah, I just haven't read it yet. But I've read Verity. and I love Verity, and it stuffs with my head on a daily basis. Then we have Layla on my TBR for this month. Want to read it this month. Spooky season vibes. Regretting You, which I only recently picked up and I just haven't got around to it yet. I've had really good things though. It's like a mother-daughter perspective, and you see both of their like love interests and them kind of solving their family issues. You guys know Colleen Hoover is my favourite author, so I've read most of her backlist. Then we have Without Merit and the Slam series, which are, again, some of the only books I haven't read. I recently picked up the new edition covers, and then I have the old edition covers up here, just because they don't fit on my shelf anymore. And then the last book on the shelf is The Roommate. Haven't read this, really want to, heard really good things. She moves in with this guy, and he is like an ex-porn star, and then they kind of start this like friends with benefits relationship. I don't really know, but I've heard really good things. Can't wait to read it. We're getting to the end. This is the second to last shelf on my bookshelf, and this one's also pretty good. The second and third books in the Maid series, this author obviously isn't the best person, and I read The Sweetest Oblivion on my Kindle and I didn't like it, but I heard that the second and the third books are so much better, so I bought them, and then kind of all the drama came out. But I still do want to read them. Obviously I own them, like I'm not just gonna let them sit here and not read them, but they have been on my TBR, like my physical TBR, for a hot minute, and I still haven't got around to it. And then we have this tiny itty bitty book here, and this is the first book in the Grip trilogy by Kennedy Ryan, Flow. Tiny little book, but very important to the series, and I just haven't read it yet because I don't have the other two books yet, and I want to get the other two books before I start it. And Kennedy Ryan's one of my favourite authors. Her Hoop series is everything to me. I love those characters and that series with my whole heart, and I cannot wait to read this because I've heard nothing but phenomenal things. Him and Us by Serena Bowen and Al Kennedy. I bought the new covers when they came out because they're so much cuter than the ones with shirtless men on them. And this is a male-male hockey romance, childhood friends to like estranged to lovers moment, and I cannot wait to read these. I love obviously the Off-Campus series by Al Kennedy, and yeah, can't wait to read this. And then we have another book by Serena Bowen and Al Kennedy, Top Secret. Again, male-male romance. This is like a threesome type of thing, but then he ends up falling for the guy that they asked to have the threesome with them. And then the last book on this shelf is This Is My After series. So we have all the books in the After series, and then we have the spin-off series about Landon, Nothing More. This I think actually is the book that's been on my shelf the longest. I got this for Christmas probably 4 years ago, and I still haven't read it. And I don't own the second book, which is part of the reason I've put it off, but I want to read Landon's story. I kind of probably would have loved it a lot more if I had read it straight after I read the After series. But yeah, I just haven't read it yet. It's been on my shelf for years and I still haven't read it. Moving on to the final shelf. I just have some magazines in the corner here, but we have The Bride Test and The Heart Principle. These have been on my TBR for months. Haven't read them yet. Read The Kiss Quotient ages ago. Loved it. Haven't got around to reading these two books yet, but I want to. And then we have the last book in the With Me trilogy by Jessica Consolo. This book was written, these books were originally written on Wattpad and then they got published, and I recently, this book recently came out, and when I say recently I mean probably like 5 months ago, and I picked it up and I still haven't read it. Then we have some Tessa Bailey. We have It Happened One Summer, Hook, Line and Sinker, and My Killer Vacation. Haven't read It Happened One Summer purely because I want to read it in the summertime, because reading summer books in the wintertime makes me depressed even though it's spring here, but I bought this during the wintertime and I want to read it in summer. And Hook, Line and Sinker, obviously can't read it without reading the first one. And then My Killer Vacation I only picked up recently. I actually only picked up all 3 of these recently, but yeah, haven't read them yet. We have some Taylor Jenkins Reid over here. One True Loves, Daisy Jones and the Six. Haven't read them yet. Don't know why. I don't know why I haven't read them. I really want to read Daisy Jones and the Six, and One True Loves has the most interesting plot like ever. Can't wait to read both of those. Plus, obviously, everyone loves Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have not read a book by her, but I do want to read Daisy Jones and the Six because it's told in all dialogue, which I love, but I want to listen to the audiobook while I read it. Then we have Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is a memoir They also turned it into a Stan series apparently, and yeah, I love the cover. Steph Bohr talks, is that how you say her name? I don't even know. You guys know I'm talking about Steph. She has read this, loved it, and I really want to read it because of her recommendation. And yeah, apparently it's just a really good book. I don't really love non-fiction. This one apparently reads a lot like a fiction book. Then we have some non-romance books. We have One of Us Is Next and You'll Be the Death of Me. One of Us Is Next is the second book in the One of Us Is Lying series, and I read One of Us Is Lying last year and I really want to read this one, but I just haven't read it yet. And then You'll Be the Death of Me is one of her recent releases. Then we have the first book in the Shadow Me series. I only recently picked this one up if you see my most recent haul. Wanted to branch out, try something different, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about the Shadow Me series and wanted to see what the hype around Aaron Warner was, to be honest. Then we have The Silent Patient. This one's been on my TBR for a very long time. My physical TBR, I bought this like last year I think, and I just haven't read it yet, but mainly because it's not romance, but I really want to know what the big plot twist is. No one tell me because I want to read the book, but like, I've heard it's crazy. Then we have some classics. I have Pride and Prejudice and The Crucible. The Crucible I've read because I had to read it for school. Pride and Prejudice I have not read, simply because I tried to read it and it's just like, it's old English and I just like, I don't know, but I know it's amazing supposedly, and like Mr. Darcy and all that, but like, I don't know. Eventually I do want to read it. Last proper book on the shelf is a poetry book. It's Homebody by Rupi Kaur. Read Milk and Honey, love Milk and Honey, and I picked up this because the cover's stunning. It's hardback and it just looks really pretty, and it's a poetry book, and I just simply haven't got around to it yet. We're gonna film the outro on the ground here, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing all the books in my physical TBR. If this tells you anything, it's that I need to stop buying books because I have so many books on my physical TBR that I need to read before I purchase any more books. But I actually have books coming in the mail like tomorrow. Granted, they're books I've already read, but still. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this video. I'm gonna go fix my bookshelf now because I hate the way it looks like this, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys!